So did you get that patch? We're gonna hit the number 3.
All right, ladies and
The game
gentlemen, we're
starts.
about ready to start now.
So we got
Week
Will's camera.
6 for Corporate Esports Association, CEA, Starcraft 2, Week 6. Uh, just a second while we work through some of our technical details here. We're about ready to kick off now. The lobby has formed. Our first match is just about ready to begin between Red Hat and IBM Virtual Private Carriers. I am your host, Eagle Searcher. I am joined here today by our casters, Big Tisano, Patch Tech, our observer, Damn Glam. Say hi, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hey there.
All right, I think we're going to have a hell of a show today. Some great StarCraft. Looks like they're itching to go in the lobby. And we'll be on our way shortly.
All right.
Yeah. So, first up is going to be Velocitas versus Work Party. Velocitas is Red Hat, Work Party is IBM. And looks like it's going to be PvP. Big Tisano, what do you think we're going to look for today?
PVT, a lot of variety in that matchup right now, actually. And they are playing on, as you see in the loading screen, on Nightshade. So I don't know. I'm hoping to see Battle Mech. I don't know much about Walk Party. I'm more familiar with the Red Hat player, and he does prefer CIA, as it's called, Charge Lot Immortal Archon. But we'll see what happens. So. Anyway, we're going to get started in a moment here with our player intros. Just bear with us a second here. We got to get our man Damn Glam set up. And so in the top left corner of the screen, playing for the Red Hatlings, it is Velocitas.
All right, down here in the bottom right, playing for IBM, it is Work Party.
Work party. Maybe he's got to walk at work. Some
Walk
type
party,
of party.
sorry.
We at least know it's a party. That's what matters most.
Alrighty, match number 1, and I'm already misreading stuff. This is going to be a fun day.
You're creating humor for the stream. It's great.
Yeah. So far, it looks like standard out of the Terran. One Rax gas. Velocitas is scouting. It looks like a little early.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty standard. How about you, Patch? You are a Terran player. What do you like to do in PvT right now?
Right now in PvT, I actually like to do a rather aggressive. It's 1/1 plus stim plus shield timing. That will hopefully show up at the base, and when I move in, do enough damage to at least give me the advantage, if not outright win. And then I end up bioing up. It's the only time I bio up when I play.
Okay. But you prefer mech in the other two matchups?
I do. Something about a group of Thors just marching across the map makes you feel happy.
Absolutely. Also makes me feel happy is an epic battle between SCV and Probe. I'm happy to see the humans win. I gotta say, being a Terran player, I dabble in Protoss, but I am a Terran player at heart. And so, yeah, just kind of standard openers all around. Not a lot of production facilities going down yet, so not seeing any sort of early aggression signs at the moment.
Looks like one party at least is trying to hide that barracks. I don't know if the probe ended up scouting it or not earlier. But maybe he might try something.
Yeah, quite possibly. What has he got going on there? Oh, that is just a depot. Not very exciting. Yeah, just pumping out some Marines, a sentry on Velocitas' side, just preparing. One thing, it's always nice to build your, for people who are learning the game, always nice to build your energy gathering, mana gathering units first, because it does allow you to build up that energy before the battle starts. So if you're going to build them, why not build them first? And yeah, just a little pack of Marines here, getting ready, going over their battle plans, right over the CEA logo. No, not a coincidence.
those who are not familiar, the CEA is the Corporate Esports Association. It is a group of teams for various esports games getting together and playing for charity.
Yeah, so battling for a good cause, and who doesn't need a good cause at a time like this?
These Marines are showing up mighty early.
They are. Pack of 6 gonna move in, get some damage down on this Adept. Down. He's got to throw up a force field, but doesn't. Oh! Okay, is able to cut out the majority of the army, but that pylon is gonna go down, and that is big trouble for Velocitas.
That is, and
yeah. So these Marines are laying down some damage on the probes. He's gonna pull the boys just to get them into the main. He's most likely gonna have to pull all his workers to deal with this because he does not have more than one adept to fight. Oh no! The probes are stuck.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is looking real tough for the Red Hat player. Doesn't get another adept in. He's got to go out on the side and get a concave on these workers. Can't funnel through there, or with the workers, I mean. Oh man.
Oh, this is harsh. I really don't think he's going to be able to hold this. Got way too many Marines just streaming in.
Yeah, that shield battery is saving his life. He would very likely be dead without it. He may be anyway, but we're going to hold out some hope for Velocitas as this constant stream of Marines. If you look at the mini-map, the hurt is not ending now. He is in deep trouble.
Yep.
As you can see on the stream, the shield battery is the MVP. Thank you.
Looks like we got it. Oh, there it is. And there's the GG.
Wow, a quick win for IBM today. Man, Velocitas did not see that. He was not able to get. He did have an observer in production. I'm not sure if it made its way down to the enemy base, but that attack definitely caught him by surprise. And yeah, unfortunately, Red Hat goes down in the first game.
Yeah, short and sweet, rather aggressive. Nice little way to set the tone for the match. You know, IBM coming in and just saying, you know what, we're here. You're not going to walk all over us. We're going to give you a fight. So.
Yeah, and particularly the parent company just letting the child company know, hey, take it easy there. This is gonna go to all games. We're gonna get a 5-game match. The youngin is not gonna get a break. But yeah, so in just a moment we are gonna switch out. Eagle Searcher, of course, is doing all the work behind the scenes to make this stream happen, along with our OBS Damn Glam. And in a moment we're gonna rotate out our casting team. And Eagle's going to come in and join me, and Patch will be back next game.
Yeah.
But do you have anything to say about that, Patch, before you swap out?
I'm kind of off, but I wasn't expecting such a statement out of the first game like that. And, you know, being a Red Hatter myself, you know, I always like to see the Red Hat team win, or at least put a, you know, really give a long fight. But yeah, to me it was good Starcraft, a fun way to open up the day. We'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, exactly. We got some quick action to start for sure. Maybe that means we're due for a macro game. We will see. But yeah, the second match of the day, as you can see from the lobby here, is going to be on Purity and Industry, Ellie. This is of course the map with the giant air slow zone in the middle, and the players both spawning on top and bottom of the same side of the map. So yeah, we're just about to get started here, and send out our readies. And Eagle, are you ready to join me today?
You bet. I'm excited. That was a good first game. Really get your blood pumping with that early aggression. We'll see what IBM and Red Hat want to pull out in this game.
Yeah. So again, this is a TVT now, our first TVT. These two players, we can see that they're both diamond. I'm not sure their individual ranks, but they're at least fairly close. So actually, a great Archon, I believe, is a bit higher ranked. But yeah, what do you? We got TVT. What are you looking forward to?
Well, TVT, great mirror match, really. It does give us a lot of opportunity to do a lot of things. But first, we'll get our player introductions out of the way in the upper left-ish, I would say. Purity Industry, kind of a weird geometry here. We have Nitrous for the Red Hatlings wearing the red trunks.
That's right. And in the middle right corner, we have Great Archon from IBM.
IBM Virtual Private Carriers. Very interesting name. A lot of interesting names here in the CEA. Of course, our Red Hatlings, making clever use of their name there.
I mean, you could say a carrier is a network. It's obviously a play on a VPN. A carrier is a network system, is it not?
Of course, and it probably has it's probably a lot more funny to actual software network technical people. But you and I, just a couple of idiots casting Starcraft on the internet.
I mean, who wants a real job when you can talk about video games? Am I right?
I mean, that would be an ideal job if we were being paid. But we're not, because this is a charity event, and we're charity casters.
That is right. So you get what you pay for. But that being said, we do have a mirror so far. Everything looking equal, pretty normal. Reapers made on both sides almost at exactly the same time. So yeah, just Nitrous getting a full scout of Great Archon's base.
Mm-hmm. And that is an important distinction there, is that Nitrous spending that SCV, taking the time to walk all the way across the map and scout his opponent's base, is going to give him a lot better idea of what his opponent is doing. Both of them, of course, starting the CC at the same time, but that missing SCV out of the mineral line is going to be just a slight mineral disadvantage for Nitrous. As opposed to Great Archon. At these type of skill levels, may not make a big difference. We're not talking about the elite of the elite. These are people who code for a living, not necessarily play Starcraft.
That is right, but they are the heroes we have. So speaking of hero, this Reaper has met his match, and we have a duel forming. Hey man, get off my lawn! Kicks him out, Nitrous sends him packing, and Great Archon is headed back.
And that's actually a pretty important part right there. Nitrous, who did his scouting with the SCV instead of the Reaper, denies the Reaper scout from Great Archon. Great Archon currently in the dark. Doesn't know what his opponent's going to be doing now.
Yeah, exactly. So a bunch of tech options available because of that. We do have a battle between Reaper and destructible debris there.
Right,
that is an epic battle.
Keep your fingers warmed up. Get a little extra APM there on the meter. Make the numbers bigger. Definitely makes you a better player for sure.
Yep.
You do see the bunker there at the front. He is prepared. Didn't get the scout off. Doesn't know what's coming, but is prepared in case of aggression. Meanwhile, Nitrous back at home, just trying to tech up, building a lot of production now. Second factory in production. Looks like he might want to do some mech.
Yeah, he is getting a lot of factories set up. Man, he might want to make some ventilators while he's at it, because this is going to be some mech. So there are some missile turrets going down, a Cyclone popping out. Of course, a very important early game TVT unit, the Cyclone. Great at taking out Vikings, Medivacs, Banshees, you name it.
Yeah, that Cyclone's going to be very important against a little bit more of a mech composition. But you do notice Great Archon having that second barracks. Second barracks going into the starport. Looks like he may be looking for more of a bio type of composition. Get that marine tank type of thing going. Gives him a lot of mobility. Nitrous may just want to go, tech up real hard. You see the armory started. Armory is a critical piece if you want to go with that sort of heavy Thor composition, just the Thor march across the map.
Exactly. A bunch of Hellions being made, tanks.
As well as the Blue Flame upgrade. So Nitrous really going all in on this sort of real heavy mech type of composition. With that third base started, probably looking at a timing here around 7 minutes. He just wants to hit his opponent with literally everything, just hard and fast. We'll see if Great Archon allows him that opportunity.
Yeah, so this map, if we can go to the naturals here, you can see this map does have kind of a winding choke around multiple chokes, and it's common for the Terran players to build these depot walls that you're seeing Nitrous put up. So it is a great map for tanks and for controlling choke points. Good mech map, so I'm not surprised why we're seeing both players go mech, or mech bio in Great Archon's case.
Good mobility there by Great Archon. Nitrous leaving that SCV who did all the scouting down there at the third, so he would know the timing of Great Archon's third going down. Knows he's a little bit ahead in the macro game, but Great Archon, having been denied scouting so far, did get the scan on the natural to see. Not quite sure if the scan saw the Thor coming out, but that Thor's a beefy boy. He can be a little bit scary once they start adding up in numbers.
That's right. Yeah, just kind of a slowly progressing game so far. Until we get ready for this push. The third base is going down, and all the normal kind of upgrades. Stim is about to finish. Got vehicle weapons for Nitrous, and yeah, I don't know. I'm ready for this battle to start, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right. I think it's going to be very important here. Both sides really getting those tanks out. The tank count's going to be so important depending on when this push comes. The heavy mech units from Nitrous are going to have a little bit of an advantage over Great Archon's, primarily Bioforce, but Nitrous is really going to need the splash damage out of those tanks. It's just a handful of tanks, and relying on more on the Hellbats, whereas Great Archon... Oh, but the scan from Nitrous as Great Archon moves out knows there's a push coming. Not a particularly scary army for this Nitrous, but depends a lot on if he can force the engagement here at this choke versus going into the third. Great Archon does swing by the tower, just gets a look to see what's going on, and the other advantage is these air units. The medevac can heal those Marines up. The two Vikings going to give him so much vantage point. Tanks are sieging, and warfare begins.
Yeah, so vision is so important in TVT, right? And as you can see, Nitrous doesn't have a single air unit out. But he does have a more powerful kind of head-on army. So it looks like what you're going to see him...
A minor mistake there. Does lose a couple of depots for free and just marches the army down, taking heavy losses. This tank's unable to be removed. Really gets choked up there. A bunch of Hellbats stuck behind a Thor. And Nitrous's army is just cleaned up with good positioning from Great Archon. Just a lot of patience from him there, willing to sit back and deal a lot of damage with those tanks in siege mode. And Nitrous really just scrambling to get units out. One of the disadvantages of the mech, of course, is how slow your production is. If you lose that sort of big ball of damage, it can be very hard to catch back up. Does get a couple Hellions, should be able to roast these Marines, but it's just looking bad. Those tanks laying down so much damage, completely protected by that Marine force, and the vision from the Vikings just carrying the day.
That's right, and so he just has a stream of workers and Hellions coming down this ramp, and not gathering his forces at all. Unfortunately for Nitrous, he's thrown off his game a bit, it seems, but we can't blame him. That push came fast and hit hard, so...
Yeah, I'd like to maybe have seen Nitrous sit back a little bit, force Great Archon to come up the ramp instead of sort of working his way through that choke. But there's the GG from him, and IBM now up 2 maps to nothing.
Yeah, a quick start to the day. Actually, for Red Hat, they are now at match point. Yeah, as you said, TVT's all about positioning, and Nitrous really didn't have a reason to push forward into that. He wasn't defending his natural in that location anyway.
Well, he did have a momentary disadvantage. So with those first 2 depots to fall, he was supply blocked, and the rest of that depot wall was going to fall for free, essentially. and it would have put him very behind on he wouldn't have been able to reinforce any of his army. He'd be sort of stuck in a position. So probably felt like he had enough beef to sort of run down and charge into that army, but unfortunately the Thor just kind of stuck himself in the bottleneck there and kept a lot of those units from coming down. Pushing down with his tanks first also just led them to being demolished. Those siege tanks do so much damage nowadays. In Legacy of the Void, of course. Free siege, lots of damage to the primary target up front. Just devastating shots.
That's right. Well, we are on to Game 3, and with that, I will be rotating out for Mr. Patch will be back. So have a good cast, guys.
All right.
All right, I'm back.
All right, Patch. Moving into map number 3. I know these are your boys. You want to see a comeback. You want to see a rally. Now's the time for a rally, if any. And if there was anybody to lead the rally, it would be Captain Red Hat himself, Zip.
Yeah, Zip's done put up quite a few good games here. Has a really good control over the Zerg aspects of these games, and it'll be interesting to see how they end up playing it. Golden Wall is a new map, and it does offer for some interesting gameplay these days. So it'll be interesting if they if either one of them tries to take advantage of that bottom section, or if they try to go around the top section and build out. So it'll be an interesting game either way.
That's right. Golden Wall, it does have a little bit of a reputation for being sort of against the Zerg's favor. Protoss seem to really succeed on this map, likely because of the layout, that you were talking about. But we'll see. Of course, Red Hat known for their preparation. We'll see if Zip's got something special prepared for this game for his opponent here. This is going to be a good match. I am excited. I hope everyone at home is excited watching this. Now's the time to put on your rally hat. Reverse sweep for Red Hat. Let's go, boys.
Alright. Here we go.
And we're loading into the game now. Here on Purity and Industry. And starting on the left side, wearing the blue trunks for IBM, we have Alpha.
Yep, and down here in the bottom right, wearing the red for Red Hatlings, we have Zip. So, curious as to what you think these people might end up doing here on this map.
Well, we've seen a lot of variations out of Zip this season. He's a very cerebral player, as a wise caster once described. Really likes to read his opponent, prepare some special builds. So we can see a lot of things. We've seen some macro games. We've seen some more aggressive games. Alpha, a little bit more of a wild card. Obviously, we haven't seen him so far this season. There is a little bit of history between these two teams. Aside from just the history of IBM and Red Hat being sort of part of the same umbrella corporation. They did face off in spring 2019, where IBM was barely able to squeak out a win, 3-2. A lot of the same players back from that game. And Red Hat maybe looking for a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, I think I actually played that day. Can't entirely remember, but that was an intense matchup. I think IBM came out today looking for, more decisive win than usual.
Right, trying to make a statement. Knowing that the standings right now, if you're unfamiliar with the format of our CEA tournament here, we're currently in the second week of our seeded pool round robin. Both IBM and Red Hat competing in the seed pool number 4. Really hoping for the top half of that pool. The top half of that pool will have automatic bids into the playoffs. The bottom half of the pool is going to be have to play in during Week 8 and hope they can snag one of the final seeds to the playoff tournament. Both Red Hat and IBM down 0-1 in the pool. So neither of the playoff hopes are dashed as of yet, but really an opportunity to sort of secure a much stronger position going into the final week of pool play next week.
Yep. I think pretty much whoever ends up losing this one's in the bottom, if I'm not mistaken.
Short of some really weird math, I think that is pretty much a given. So Alpha does get the scout off there, does see the third hadn't been put down, but with the drone there, knows that third base is coming. It looks like in this game, it's a little bit of a slower opener. Looks like both players opting to go the macro. Of course, Zerg really wants to get that extra base up over its opponent at all times. Just the extra base gives it extra larva, extra mining, allows them to be a little bit more fast and loose with their units. Take advantage of a lot of the Zerg advantages. Overlord there decided he spent enough time in the perv perch for now. Just deciding to mosey on home. Got an eyeful, if you know what I mean.
Oh, that cheeky name for that spot. But yeah, I think it feels like he's done all he could up there. That just move it out. Do a little quick with these things, seeing what's going on. Says hi, walks away. Oh, just kidding, guys.
Lings just want free hugs. Does have that queen in position for that third, so we do see Warp Prism now coming out for Alpha, so probably wants to be aggressive, get across the map using those gateway units. Doesn't have much on the board yet for either player, really. Just 6 army supply for Alpha and 12, now up to 10 with those 2 warp ins, and 14 army supply for Zip. We'll see if he notices this Warp Prism coming in. Does have the Roach Warren in production with a handful of spores. Maybe his sixth sense, the hive mind, telling him something that, hey, there could be something coming in from the air around this time.
Couldn't tell if he ended up seeing it or not. It'll be interesting if he ends up catching it. And there he goes, dropping in. Zip has those lings ready to go.
And a really sharp timing here. You got to give credit to Alpha here. Resonating Glaives finishes as the Adepts warp in. That's a lot of Adepts. They are going to shred these workers. It's going to be very difficult for them to stop. With that Roach Warren finish, though, when the roaches pop out, that's going to be... it should be able to shut down this depth pressure, but more and more Adepts warping in. Now 5 more Adepts, as well as the original ones heading down into the natural, trying to get some extra damage in, continuing to maul those worker lines. Just so much damage with that Resonating Glaives upgrade. And this lone Roach, trying to be the hero, doesn't even get a kill. Zip continuing to take more and more losses. Queen going to go down. More workers going down. 28 workers lost so far. Doing everything he can to stay alive. It doesn't look like it's going to be quite enough.
Now, there it is. There's the GG, and IBM will take it 3-0 against Red Hat. Good games, guys.
IBM looking so good today. For a group
they were
4.
Prepared.
Yeah, very. I mean, that was a perfectly executed. Very good timing. Read his opponent really well. I think if maybe Zip had been a little bit more aggressive, could have been able to shut it down. But just a solid game.
Yep.
Our whole match here in 30 minutes. Gosh. Well, bummed to see the result, but there is next week.
Well, I am getting word.
Yeah,
I'm getting word that we may actually play a game 4, for shits and giggles, as they say. Free Starcraft. I'm on board. SCTuesdays team will continue to be here, even if the score doesn't count. IBM, of course, taking the match. We'd be happy to show the game 4.
right, bonus Starcraft. It's a twofer, you might say. So, who's going to be playing? I don't know if they're going to proceed, assuming they may proceed as the match would have gone had Red Hat won, and that would be Jeff Kodad versus Study Friend or CA Holder, whichever tag he's using.
That's right. Kodad Darson and Study Friend playing out on Everdream. Looks like they're setting the map up now.
Yeah, so that will be a PVT, or second one of the day.
That's right. And to bring you this map will be Big Tisano and Patch. So, Big Tisano, welcome back to the cast. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Bonus Starcraft.
Yeah. Gonna be some fun times.
You know, in this situation, we should just add some sort of strange rule. I mean, they should do a mono battle, maybe some star chess. You know, if we're talking fun here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know someone's must have played star chess. It's more popular than regular StarCraft right now, it seems.
Yeah. So yeah, looks like everybody's getting it loaded up here, getting the game set up. Be interesting to see how this ends up playing out. The pressure's off, if you will. Nothing matters on this map. IBM's already taken it, so it'll be interesting to see what these guys end up doing. If they stick with their typical strategies, or if they try to do something a little cheeky or different, or more risky or less risky.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when there's nothing on the line, why not throw in something special, right? Why not try out that build that you've been saving for just this occasion?
Yeah.
Are we going to see rushed carriers? Are we going to see BC rush? Maybe pulling the boys? Straight up SCV rush? I mean, come on, there's so many options they could go to.
You know, what one of them could do is just either build a bunch of nexuses or command centers, and then just win with workers almost entirely. That would be interesting to see.
We may have seen something like that.
At all in the history of the tournaments.
It's never happened before.
I have not lost to a map full of nexuses and workers before. No, not me.
To be fair, he did have charge lots, so to give you some
He
credit.
had some. He had enough to, you know, just make sure he kept that upper hand.
But yeah, we are into our game, and so in the bottom left corner of the screen, playing for the Red Hatlings, we have Kodad Arson.
All right, and up here in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have for IBM, Steady Friend. Hey, I got the name right that time. Look at me.
That's right. That's right. Even without the vowel, we knew what it said because we are smart.
You might.
And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm really hoping for some good cheese. Why not end the day? These are obviously a friendly competition here, just willing to stick around. Always nice to see. So, you know, why not go ahead and just do something out of the ordinary? I'm going to say it enough and hope that I will it into existence. That's my strategy.
It'd be amazing if, you know, this probe just kind of dropped a pylon real quick. No.
There's still time.
Oh, he's at least going to try to get a deny here. Probe can't quite get the attack off.
Yeah, so Starcraft, pretty great. And I want a shout out to our observer, Damglam, by the way, who is the reason all these really awesome looking logos have made their way into the game here for us. As well as him and Eagle Searcher creating the overlays and really vamping up the SCTuesdays production quality. So thanks to both those guys.
Yep. Really appreciate it. They put a ton of work and energy into getting all that up. Looks like Kudad is going to try to block a Reaper coming in by dropping his gateway and robotics facility down right there. Or cybernetics core. Not robotics facility. Yeah, I play Starcraft, guys, I promise.
What's this SCV up to, you think? Just in the corner there. He's decided he wants a rake. Oh, this Reaper is coming in. I will stop talking about that SCV, I promise. Reaper comes in, gets a scout of the production, and this probe's going to say, hey, man, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, the Stalker is taking care of the Reaper real quick. Looks like his scouting, or Cadet Arson's scouting probe got taken care of as well.
Does, yeah, just murdered sitting next to the rocks, trying to catch a drink of water. It's a tough world out there. But, yeah, reactor going down from a study friend. Looks like a tech lab on the factory, so, you know, most likely going to see some marine tank is signal there.
Pretty standard in PvP, PvT, however you want to call it.
Oh, Stalker Marine battle. That second Marine, hey man.
Who wins?
Not going to help his buddy out. Just
the Stalker's going to try to come over here and get some free kills on some SCVs.
That's right. Definitely sacrificed the
There you go.
Just single shots here in this game. We have some epic fast-paced battle here, right?
Yep, well, the worker will go down. Look at that.
That's Stalker.
Sit there and chip away. Up here comes the Marauder and the Marine. And they will get this Stalker to go home.
Yeah, I think he's definitely done his work, so he gets to go home. Bring that shield back, and oh, we got a Widow Mine right, nicely placed right on the walk path. 2 of them actually, and yeah.
Looks like they're taking up looks like 2 more racks, I believe. Dropping out some medevac.
This hallucinated Phoenix will come in and get a full scout of the production, the whole base really, and he's probably realized that it is fake by now. Hey, wait a minute. Oh yeah, it's a fake. You got me, man. So
and even if it is pretty scary, even if it's not real, you know, they're gonna get a good scout off, and they're gonna find out what you're doing, and you're gonna have to adjust to it. So
that's right.
Even then, can you really take a chance on a Phoenix being real or fake?
No, you can't. You do not mess around. Yeah, Colossus is out, and that will, of course, give him the splash damage he needs against the Terran Bio Army. And yeah, just a third base going down, so developing into a macro game. He does have a nice lead on his opponent in everything, really.
And there we go with an observer hanging out right outside the natural. Just keeping an eye on everything going on. Oh, and you will see the drop load up, and then
that observer couldn't have been more perfectly placed.
Or perfectly timed.
Yeah, he's just zooming in his own perch, really, you might say. But
looks like he's trying to cut off the drop. Oh, that's a probe getting a scout out. Yep. If he hasn't seen it yet, he will definitely see it now.
That medevac has really been heavily seen. So even though he's seen it 18 times, he does not seem to be moving any army into that side of his base.
It is not.
So
medevac may be able to get off. Drop it out here. There it goes. There's just 1 tank, a Marauder, and 2 Marines, so it's probably not going to be too big of a deal.
1 Stalker does go down. Picks off another, but you know, two Stalkers for that amount of units and the investment is probably not what he was hoping for. But there is some aggressive pylon set up from Kodad, and we'll see what he wants to do with that.
There goes Steady Friend, just getting a check, seeing where the third base is for Cadet Arson. Doesn't have one out front, as you can see, so And there goes a redundant pylon out front on the low ground.
Yeah,
Making
why
sure that when he
rely?
decides to act, he has the ability to warp units in.
That's right. He is building his own network of pylons, and one gets found. Luckily, he has 37 more available. So, gonna come in and see this pack of bio be quickly taken out as he tries to take down this pylon. But there is a counterattack at the third. It looks like.
Looks like the probes end up taking care of it, though. Like I said, man, them probes, they are a pretty nice unit.
Probes, not to be underestimated.
No.
Eagle agrees. Would you say so, Eagle? You guys can't hear him, but we can. So yeah, this attack is going off. He does repel it back, despite the army advantage Kodad had at the start of that. It actually he does not have one anymore. So he's continuing to push that force back. And, but big warping will force him back into his base.
Yep, and could have at least prevented him from moving back across the map after getting that army lead, keeping him at bay, making sure he can still hold on to the upper hand, and kind of just get his army built back up for counterattack would happen.
Exactly. So some upgrades coming in, about to get his infantry upgrade done, and Kodad has great vision of the map, getting his fourth base. Whereas Study Friend is, of course, establishing his third right now, so full base up. But we will see. The armies are not that dissimilar. It's the economy of Kodad that is farther ahead.
Yep. But it looks like Study Friend is also up on upgrades, and it looks like he's about to be up even more on upgrades as well. As it looks like Kodad has just recently, not long ago, started his 1-1. While Steady Friend's +2 attack's about to finish, and his +2 armor is on its way.
Exactly, and thank you, our observer, showing us this medevac that has, I think, 14 hit points, is dangerously going to be sent home. Not a reliable transport. That would call that one the Boeing 737 Max. Send that thing home. And here comes in Kodad.
The Nexus will go down, but he will wipe out this army with little effort. Just does pick off a medevac. Luckily for Steady Friend, it wasn't a loaded one. It didn't appear. And
yeah, just rally.
Ooh, that one had army in it.
And the feedback goes down too, so that won't be any healing going on from that medevac. But Kodad has full control of this game. He, of course, has a big supply difference. The soup does not lie. And here comes this attack towards the third base. Ton of charge lots streaming in. Get right on top of the tanks. Gonna get a surround on this Bioforce too. It's looking like a rough spot for Study Friend.
Yep, this third will go down. Looks like Kodad just kind of hanging out for a second, waiting to fill out the army. And you get some Archons up in there as well.
Looks like he wants Blink to finish. Gotta do that final Blink on top of the enemy army. That just seals the deal. It's the Protoss equivalent of dropping mules.
Looks like Kodad will group up with the rest of the Zealots, and he makes his move in. Zealots will make quick work of that tank. The Bio Army is going to get cleaned up here with relative ease and splits them away from the base. Stalkers will blink onto the tanks. And there's the GG.
There we have it. So Red Hat does emerge with a victory in spirit, and they'll get this final game. And I will see whether that is the final game of the day, or they want to just go ahead and play an ace match.
Yeah.
What do you think, Eagle?
I imagine that. Well, I mean, if they're going to continue to play StarCraft, I feel like we will continue to cast it. Although I'm not sure that everybody is here for the long haul. We do have some suggestions going down in the team channel here. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we got some suggestions of mono battles and all kinds of things. A personal favorite of a personal favorite of SCTuesdays and many in the Starcraft community. But, good to see a friendly competition here. Both teams just exchanging congratulations and GGs, and yeah.
Yeah, good series here today. While they organize, we'll see what actually happens. But yeah, with the results here today, IBM will fall, or IBM will actually rise to 1-1, while Red Hat drops to 0-2. Almost certainly going to end up in the bottom half of the pool bracket. Sort of hard to break out of that 0-2 deficit. There's only 3 weeks. So that'll put them on track to play the top 2 seeds of pool number 5 to play into the tournament. It looks like we probably won't get any bonus StarCraft today, folks. Unfortunately, just due to some logistics, a lot of the players are not available to play another game, and we understand that this is a very limited organization. An hour every Saturday afternoon. People have lives. Even if they can't go outside and interact with other people, they have families and kids and that sort of thing. But yeah, so great series today. Any other final words from our casters? Big Toe, Patch.
A quick series, and was hoping for a Red Hat victory, but we did get to see good StarCraft, and a lot of fast. No one wanted to play a macro game today.
No, they didn't. They were prepared. They were calculated. They took quick, swift blows, and they tried to hurry up and get it over with. I think they probably knew by now that we tend to like the macro game more than we like the short game. So they did their research and they made great use of it. I am impressed by IBM today.
Yeah, a few players did close what on paper was an MMR gap between their Red Hat opponents, and so it is exciting to see an underdog pull out the victory. But yeah, that's about all I have to say for the day, unless you gentlemen have other words. Take us out, Eagle.
I think that'll wrap us up then. So, I am your host, Eagle Searcher, and for the rest of the SCTuesdays team, our casters Big Toe, Patch, and our glorious observer, Dan Glam, we will catch you next Saturday, 3 p.m. Schedule update. It's actually going to be 2 weeks from now for Week 7. It will be Red Hatlings versus Microsoft Bill for Gates. Our final week of competition in the pool play. Join us again 2 weeks from now, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. And until then, GG.